I met this sister, she got 3 kids.
And she needs some sweaters. But you know,
but her man know how to fix stuff.
You
make her children 3 sweaters, she'll send your man over there to fix your floor.
Exactly.
There you go.
And now you can decide
how it works.
So how do you...
once you get people hooked on it, some people will think about it, because if they really desperate, they'll really think about it, and they might say, yeah, okay.
But that's the thing. You keep using words like desperate. You keep using words like
that's how we are. But we're already desperate, and we're already downtrodden, and we're already...
No, hold on. Not for those people who think they're not desperate because they live in whatever Waverly Hills or whatever. They're black and they're elite and they have the $1 million houses.
The same.
It is the same.
Because when you have that $1 million house, you got the $1 million bills, and when the $1 million bills happen, you still eating bologna and cheese.
Bologna.
But the thing is this, we still taking it past somewhere else. At this point, we can't answer all of those questions.
So we got to start small.
All we can do is start small and start and see where we can pick and choose other people, or other people who come up to us and say, hey, I see what y'all doing, and I'm up for the challenge. I want to, I could do this.
But so what do you say for the sister who's coming and they like, okay, I really feel what y'all doing, but I don't have anything to trade.
They probably got something to trade.
No, because there are people who are afraid to get into stuff like this because they feel like they don't have anything.
You teach them. You teach them.
The free, like you were saying, resources are free.
So while we have that system where we trading our service, our resources, we also have the one where if we know something, if we know how to do something, like we're supposed to be sewing right now, but if we know how to do something, then if somebody wants to learn, then we teach them. So many of us, like namely one person that we all have an issue with, we shouldn't have to pay $500 to know how to eat right, or the basics. We shouldn't have to pay all these exorbitant amounts of money just to do something, and that's a hindrance. If I want my daughter to go to a rites of passage getaway, it shouldn't cost each of us $500 to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you own the land and you
us ready to send our children on that rites of passage.
Absolutely.
And somebody ready to take. That's right.
Absolutely.
Come to my space.
And said you got to pay for the land, and even on the land you pop it, and that was one of the options. You have to pay $200 to pop your tent up, and you can live in there underneath, both of you, for 2 days outside. And so I'm just and you own the land. And I don't understand it. If I own the land and I'm really interested in our children learning more about rites of passage and getting ritual and spiritual and all that stuff, how come I won't offer it? See, we are afraid to donate our time. We are afraid to teach other people our skill because we want to earn money. We want to keep the resources and the know-how to ourselves so that we can own shit. We want to be able to own and give power over you because I know something and you don't, and so in order for me to survive, I need to charge you $500 because you don't know this. And that keeps people poor. That doesn't encourage building. That doesn't do anything but keep poor people poor.
We especially have to move away from that type. From that type of bartering system, because we're at a point where the money is not worth as much.
No.
That money is, so you probably, even though you're charging people for this service, you might not even be getting paid the worth or the value of it. You might get one person.
Though if you work something, you'll get 10.
Yeah.
For $500 to go and spend a week with someone, one person might come up with that money. But if you say, this is what I want to give to my community, this is how I want to help, you may get 40.
Absolutely.
And you say to them, okay, you want to come? I need this. Do you have
it? It has to be a genuine effort, because I feel like our genuineness get lost in a whole bunch of
when your black turn green.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we need to.
Go ahead.
No, we just need to be able to not only speak community, because I know some of us. Community doesn't mean love and hug everybody everywhere. It means working with each other and knowing that when you work with each other, there are things that are going to be accomplished. Despite your own personal issues with one another, there are things that are going to be accomplished. And that's what black people all over the world freaking need. First, to realize their potential. number one. Number two, to recognize that potential in each other and really build on that and create communities of doing what we call dual and contending power. If we are 1 billion strong in the ghetto, we could have 1 billion strong in the ghetto with money producing shit for ourselves, doing things for ourselves, so that we, the outside world, is not going to benefit from our poverty. Because poverty-stricken people go out and buy shit like Jordan
for $220.
I need a Coach bag, and I live in the PJs.
It's the poor folks.
It's the poor folks that buy. It's the poor folks that run this fucking country.
That's it.
It's the poor people that run. When I worked at American Express, rich people didn't pay no fucking bills. Like you said,
poor people pay.
They had the worst credit, got the highest spending limits on the cars that did have spending limits, and they got the least amount of repercussions. Because poor people are always afraid of losing out. So they're going to do everything in their power to grasp onto the little strings.
People pay bills.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
And other people, I hate to say the white folks, they ain't worried about nothing. Who do you see at the check cashing places spending whatever money they have to pay BGE, telephone bills, credit card bills, wiring money because the due date was last week? Poor people.
Yeah. So you already.
Poor people pay bills.
We pay late fees.
They pay late fees. They pay bills.
That's what topples this economy. And then when the poor people pays the bills, the benefit goes to the rich people.
The rich people. People talk about credit scores. They don't even know what the credit score is, and the fact that there was not always a credit score.
But check it out. There's going to be somebody who watches this and say, well, poor people are all people, not only associated with color. What do you say to that?
Guess what? I ain't them. And they ain't me, because even the poorest white person has a leg up on me.
That's true.
The poorest white trash, white whatever, has more opportunity than I do.
I was talking to his sister in, I think it was a sister in the chat room. Shah Bless had a radio show, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And she was just like, what do you think about class? Shouldn't we align with class more so than color? I said no. Because even it wasn't the rich white people who were hanging black people in the day. It was the poorest
white people.
I said when they are given a chance, even if they belong in your class, poor people will always choose their whiteness over their class, and they will use their whiteness as a privilege. So it can't be a class issue, and we can't say we are kumbaya in the class, because the only reason why poor people align, or white people align with class, is only when they feel their whiteness does not matter to anybody anymore. When their whiteness can't get them out of shit no more.
Exactly.
That's true.
When their whiteness can't get them out of shit, when their whiteness is no longer a privilege, that's when they want to say, well, we're all together in this struggle.
And we're not. I can make the same amount. I can live in the same area, pay the same bills. But when the shit comes down, they're going to see who's white and who's black.
And they're going,
just like jobs, just like schools. Come on. Come on. I work in a hospital. The hospital right now is the most booming businesses we got going on.
They are.
The hospital industry.
They are.
People work there from sweeping floors to CEOs. And if you were to walk the halls on any given day, who do you think is working the most?